Guys, this is exciting. It's not often I get to do a world first, but I am the first person in the world to launch the new Cupra Terramar. This is their all-new SUV. They call it their first SUV because apparently their other SUVs are coupes. But it is very exciting because Cupra do want this to be their biggest seller in Australia. They want it to go up head-to-head with the Tiguan, for which this is based on. It's built on the new MQB Evo platform, and it's almost the exact same size as a Tiguan, but it is the sportier Tiguan. In terms of how much it will cost, well, they're going to try and bring it into Australia to compete with themselves, really, to compete with the Tiguan. So if you can get one of these very sporty and cool looking little Spanish SUVs for about the same price as a base model Tiguan, well, that's pretty damn good, I think. But today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the all-new Cupra Terramar. We're here in beautiful Barcelona to take a look at the exterior. We're going to check out the interior, the practicality. That's important for an SUV. Then, like I said, we're going to launch it. I'll tell you just how fast this thing is, and then we're going to drive it, and I'll tell you all about the different drivetrains you can get before I give you my final thoughts. Should you be waiting for this to come out next year? Let's get into it. Let's talk about price first, because it's always a touchy subject. This is literally Spanish side is hot. This is literally just been released. We don't know the pricing. We do know that in Germany, it's going to cost about 41,000 euro or so, but Australia, believe it or not, gets their Cupras cheaper than Europe. What I have heard from Cupra, kind of in off-record conversation, so I'm sorry about this, but they wanted to start with a 5. But if it does start with a 5 in the low 50,000s, I think you're actually going to be getting a pretty awesome value SUV. Let's talk about the looks though, because it is very Cupra-esque. I do like it. So they've gone for this new design language with these triangular daytime running lights, very bright LEDs there as well with a split fog light there. You got aero here for the side to help streamline air across it. You have lots of V's, so you see the bonnet is in a V, the Cupra badge is in a V, even down to the grille, it's in a V, by the way. Big grille there as well. And you're gonna notice a radar here. That is for the autonomous driving. This thing has Volkswagen Group's travel assist. It's just been updated, and it is very good at just hooking you up in the center of the lane. And you've got a camera there for your 360 camera. Otherwise, I think it's a really good looking SUV. Like, when do you ever really think an SUV is good looking? In this instance, it's right now. Let's check out the side. At the side, you're really gonna notice that this thing is very much an SUV. It doesn't have that normal coupe-ness to it, although it is slightly coupey. Here's a fun bit of trivia for you. This is built on the same factory line as the Audi Q3, so a much more expensive car. And yes, you have Audi Q3 door handles. And apart from that and some of the roof paneling, it's an entirely, completely separate vehicle, as far as they tell us anyway. You have these 20-inch wheels here with some copper highlights, a very cool design to them. Also wrapped in some pretty good Continental Sport Contact 6 tires. They seem to have a decent amount of grip to them. 360 camera here for your mirror, keyless entry and go. Very tinted privacy glass. And like I said, it's mostly an SUV, but a bit of that coupe. They couldn't help themselves, Cupra. Oh, SUV, roof rails. Let's check out the bum. Then there is the bum. I really like it, to be honest. So you got the triangles, a bunch of them here. You've also got a huge light bar with a light up Cupra badge. Cupra spelt out here in copper lettering. And then down the bottom is a very aggressive diffuser with some fake looking exhaust, though I'll give them a pass on that. Obviously you get a spoiler here. It wouldn't be Cupra if it didn't have that. A very tinted privacy glass there as well. Yeah, look, I really like the way that this thing looks, especially for an SUV, a family SUV at that. It's just not boring. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you like the looks of this? Okay, now let's talk interior, what it can fit. And as you can see, it can fit a lot of my shit, that's for sure. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. Yeah, it's got quite a lot of boot space. I don't know the literage as of right now. They actually haven't released it to me, but still you get plenty of space, even a little bit under the floor. Looks like a full-size spare could fit under there, but your subwoofer for your Sennheiser audio is actually in there. Of course, you can drop in the rear seats and get even way more room. So it is very usable, very practical. It is very SUV, just like you would hope. Alrighty, let's talk about the interior now, because it's refreshing. It's just a nice place to be without being overly styled. Yes, you have some buzzwords like this is called a boomerang spine. It's got an interesting metal material finish to it, but whatever. It makes it a bit more driver focused, and it is quite nice. You do have soft touch materials in every place, which is very good. And you have some very comfortable Cupra seats with like this Alcantara. Feels like a wetsuit material. Apparently a lot of this interior is recycled, even down to this nicely textured glove box. It is scratchy plastic, but it is still nice. And oh yeah, heaps of space in there, and a Kinder Bueno. I'll have that later. Technology as well is very, very good, as you would expect for a car that's coming out in 2025. So you have a very large 12.9-inch display here with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You've also got your touch capacitive buttons down here, which normally I would hate, but thankfully now they are completely backlit, so you can see them at night. That was an issue before, at least with Volkswagen stuff. And also the aircon is always on the display. So again, a very good thing there. You're gonna notice heaps of these copper highlights all throughout. I quite like it. It just adds a bit of color to an otherwise very black interior. Up in front of you, you've got a heads-up display, which you can control using these buttons on the steering wheel. And thankfully they're physical buttons, Volkswagen. Thank you for that. And then up in front of you is a digital instrument cluster that actually has heaps of displays to it. Very, very customizable. It's really good. And like I said, updated, it is the latest, as you would expect for an all-new model. Other storage, because it is an SUV, you have an open area here, but that's also your fast wireless charger. You have two USB-C ports. You've got a couple of cup holders. You've got a little storage here for your key if you want it. You have an adjustable armrest up and down, but you can't slide it. Still, inside it, you have heaps of space, like really quite a lot, especially for a combustion vehicle. And by the way, this is the last combustion vehicle or vehicle with a combustion engine that Cupra is making. At least that's what they say. Up in front of you is a very nice leather steering wheel with copper stitching. It feels great to hold on to. On the left-hand side is your drive mode selector. You could cycle through a bajillion different drive modes. Very good. Then on the right-hand side is your start-stop button too. Like I said, you get a Sennheiser sound system. Sounds fantastic. Like they've clearly spent a bit of time tuning that system. All I did was increase the bass a little bit and it's perfect. And then up top you have a nice coated panoramic sunroof, which you can of course open too. So yeah, really, really impressed with this interior. It's a nice place to be without being overly shouty. And so I think the designers have done a very good job. Let's check out the back seats. Alrighty, so back seats, what's it like back here? Well, don't love the scratchy materials, but this is all nice and soft, especially where you rest your arm, which is good. There are no mat pockets, which is a little bit weird, but I guess because you get these sport bucket seats. Now, the most important part, how do I fit back here? I'm 5'11". I've got enough leg room. Toe room is very, very good. And headroom as well is very good too. These are some pretty bulky seats and I sit quite far back. So I'm honestly not too surprised that I don't have a huge amount of leg room. You get a couple of air vents and a third zone of climate control with dual USB-C ports. These seats as well, they feel very nice. Same Alcantara-like suede here. Wetsuit material, which is, like I said, completely recycled, or at least mostly recycled. Pull down this armrest, you get a couple of cup holders, which is good. And you're also gonna notice this. We can slide the seats just like a Tiguan. That's how you know it's built on the Tiguan platform, and shares door handles with an Audi Q3. Look, I really like this interior. I think it's functional, does the job. Nothing is too shouty. It's just very good. Let me know what you guys think though of the interior down in the comment section. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and like the video. Of course, share it with a friend. That really helps the channel out. And if you are in the market for a new car, make sure you check out carsauce.com/buy. I have a dedicated team of car buyers. We have thousands of dealers who we contact to get you the best price possible. Best of all, the service is totally free for you because we charge the dealers a fixed fee, and that also means we can go in the hardest to get you the best price possible. So if that sounds good for you, and it definitely should, make sure you check out carsauce.com/buy when you're buying any new car in Australia. Let's be the first in the world to launch this thing. Okay, a world first here. We are going to launch the all-new Cupra Terramar. We're in the 195 kilowatt, which is the high performance one right now. Let's put the traction into sport mode. We're going to brake boost it. Here we go. I'm excited. Ooh, that's pretty violent. Oh. Ooh, that was good. 0 to 100 in 6.22 seconds. I'll take that. That is really quite impressive. All right, let's drive this thing normally. Okay, so driving the Cupra Terramar. Let's put it into Cupra mode. Here we go. Put our foot down. Yeah, this thing is not slow. So let's talk about what is powering the Cupra Terramar. It starts off with a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged mild hybrid that puts out 110 kilowatt of power, 250 newton meters of torque. Then there's two plug-in hybrid options available. Both are 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol engines mated to an electric motor. Those are both all-wheel drive, and you can get that as either 150 kilowatt of power or 200 kilowatt of power, although they don't give a figure on torque. And then there's this one, which is the one I'm very glad to be driving right now. And this is a Golf GTI engine, baby. It's an EA888 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine that comes with 195 kilowatt of power, 400 newton meters of torque, mated to an all-wheel drive system, and it is a surprising amount of fun. The Cupra Terramar, unlike its Tiguan relative, is very much tuned for sportiness. Of course, that is until the Tiguan R inevitably comes out. But this thing here has a variable steering ratio, which means that the more you turn it, the more the car turns. So it's very much like a Golf GTI in that way. My God, it's fast. We have 15 stage dampers as well, a 7-speed dual clutch. And although a lot of this sound here is pumped in and fake, it does make some good, nice, real noises. I'll shut up so you can hear it. Impressively, this is also the first Cupra to be built on the new MQB Evo platform, which just has way more aluminium up in the front of the subframe, and as a result, it just handles so well. And that kind of makes sense, right? Because it's built on the same platform as an Audi Q3. So frankly, I think you're going to be getting quite a lot of, well, value out of this platform, certainly out of the Audi research and development in the Cupra Terramar. I will say you don't have to drive like a nincompoop. For most people, you're probably not going to all the time. So I'm going to put the car into individual mode. It slackens off the suspension. Our 15 stage dampers here, I put them in the comfier setting than comfort, and it is a cruisy, easy ride. The steering is still quite heavy, to be totally honest with you. Oh, it's very darty indeed. And certainly with the dampers in this comfier than comfort setting, it's wafty and body rolls, but that's a good thing because it means that you can change the way that this thing drives. Like, I'm not complaining here. The other thing is the travel assist that this comes with. It is very good. Hooks you up into the center of the lane. Really easy to use. It's comfortable and it makes driving just easier. Of course, that's boring. We want to put the car back into Cupra mode. A lot of drive modes. Here we go. Drop a gear and off we go. It's pretty awesome to be driving this, considering for me, it was released literally yesterday in the world. It's just smooth and it drives really well. I'm struggling to complain. When you really push this car to its limits out here on the mean streets of Barcelona, I don't know, it's fully compliant. It just drives well. I'm very impressed. Okay, let's get into our final thoughts. Alrighty guys, final thoughts on the new Cupra Terramar. Should you be rushing out to buy one? Well, honestly, if you want a bit of fun in your life, but you got a family that saps the fun out of you, the Cupra Terramar might be a really good compromise. It's comfortable for everyone in the car, but if you want to have a bit of fun with it, you certainly can, especially considering it has that dynamic chassis control, especially considering it's got a sportier setup than a Tiguan, and it's actually quite fast as well, of course, here with the performance one, but there might even be a hotter one coming as well. So honestly, yeah, I would highly recommend it, depending on price. But if they come in around the same price as a Tiguan, it'd be a no-brainer for me. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you buy the new Cupra Terramar? What do you think of its looks? What do you think about the way it drives? And of course, if you want to buy any new car in Australia, make sure you check out carsauce.com/buy for the best deals possible. All right, ciao for now.